There are many ways to tie up tomatoes. You'll see people putting them on long strings, and that works great like in a hoop house, but for the general garden person, it really, nobody has that kind of structure, or very few people do. So I found this Florida weave way of holding up tomatoes works really well for me. And you can see I've started with this, but like I said, it's just a little bit too elastic, and it's not doing a good job of holding up the tomatoes. Basically what you want to do is go in front of the tomato, and then on the next one you're going to go behind and then in front. So you're going to keep on supporting the tomato by weaving it back and forth. So we'll go behind this one. And of course, the best thing to do is to make sure that you're pruning the tomatoes so that there's not a lot of leaf structure in your way. So you want a nice clean stem to work with. And that helps to keep the tomato up. My tomatoes are doing really well this year. I'm very, very, very pleased. I hope that you're seeing what I'm doing here. If you have a cattle panel, this works really well. So, you know, having a cattle panel or some kind of gate type support to tie this onto. So if you come around this way, you can probably see how I've got the twine. I've got in front, and then I go behind, and then I've got it in front. And now we're going to take the twine and do the opposite direction. So we'll take it and go, this one is in front, we will go behind it and support it that way. So the branch is actually held in between the weave of the twine, and that's why it's called Florida weave. So you can see the tomatoes, these are black, I'll put the name on the screen, but they're good sized tomatoes and they need to be supported. Otherwise you're going to have them flopping over. Tomatoes are a vine. They want to be on the ground, crawling along the ground. We don't want them that way, because that way they get full of disease and rodents and things like that can easily access them. So we want to make sure that we protect them. Okay. So now we'll take our next piece of twine and just go in the opposite direction. Okay. So these tomatoes are a bit unruly, so I want to start trimming some. The way that you can know, first of all, these are indeterminate tomatoes. So indeterminate tomatoes need to be pruned. You want to get rid of these suckers. The sucker grows in the armpit of the tomato. So you want to clean those up. Good airflow is important for the health of the tomato. So you want to get rid of those branches, those suckers, so that the tomato has space around it. Otherwise, they're subject to dampening off, where you have that tomato end rot. Doesn't have good airflow. A lot of people say that that's because it's not taking up enough calcium, or that it's a water issue. It can be, but I have found that if I keep the tomatoes cleaned up, they do much better and have good airflow. They're a lot healthier. They also don't need to have this much growing. So I like to clip the ends to keep it a little cleaner. They do need some for photosynthesis, but you can keep your indeterminate tomatoes a lot cleaner than the determinate. The determinate ones, if you do this, you'll lose fruit, but that's not going to happen. So on an indeterminate, you want to look, here's the fruit right here. This is where your tomatoes are going to happen. You don't need all of this tomato. It simply makes a congestion, and it's really more important to have airflow. So this string is going in front of the tomato, and the next thing we want to do another support behind the tomato, and that kind of cages it in. So we'll take it and go behind the tomato. The next one, find your next stalk or next tomato and go in front of that one. This one where the twine is in front, you want to go behind it. Here's the next tomato. The twine is in front of it. You want to go behind that tomato. So hopefully you can see the weave and how it's going to support these tomatoes. Here's the tomato. The twine is in front. So we want to go behind that tomato. Now I've made my twine a little bit too short, but I can tie it onto that other string and it'll support it. So I hope this has been helpful. Learning about the Florida weave. There are a lot of videos out on the internet that you can look that up, and if you have any comments or questions, put them in the comment section below. Thank you.